There's no doubt that music touches everyone in some special way or another. Music has been a primordial part of man and will be till the end of time. With a predominant Hispanic culture, Miami is full of Latin-infused music that brings people together in the spirit of having fun and living life to the fullest. And that's how fans of FatKingBulla feel when they hear the magical combination of Antoni's vocals and Martino's guitar. FatKingBulla is a Latin rock band that has been playing in Miami scene since 2006.
Since 2006 that we started playing around Miami and the underground movement, play like in this little joint in Hollywood Boulevard. We would just go there and have fun and drink and get wasted and play rock from the 80s and doing some covers, English covers. We had lots of fun with FatKingBulla was there already. But it was just, you know, this band that started rehearsing at the living room of then my girlfriend's sister's house that we all lived there, we all camped there over the weekend. Yeah, that's pretty much how FatKingBulla started, like in the living room in the backyard of the house. 98, and I brought these cassettes from Peru with music, rock en español, you know, Spanish rock from the 80s. And we played it loud, and we played the guitar, and we followed to it. And then there was this guy that lived next door or downstairs, but we were too loud. We were like, and bulla means noise. It's noise. So I guess we were making too much noise. So this guy like came irate, and he like knocked on the door and said, "Stop that fucking bulla!" And I was like, wow. Say fucking, he's like using like English, fucking, and bulla. Bulla is noise. He could say, "Stop that fucking noise." But he said, "Stop that fucking bulla." That stuck to me. And then years later, when we were looking for a name for our band, I said, "Look, you know, I think I have a name. I like FatKingBulla." You know, el equipo titular de FatKingBulla is now the band members now, because we had so many band members throughout the years in FatKingBulla. But since 2007, we have Martino in the lead guitars. We have El Gato Espinosa on the percussion and directing the band musically, meaning that he's the one that is always there for our sound, looking at our sound. Even if we're playing two, that sounds like FatKingBulla. We have FatKingBulla, a self-titled album that we released in 2007. We released in 2007 independientemente. We just went down there to Peru, we made the news, and we released this album that we are so proud of, FatKingBulla. The song that everybody likes is Niña Infiel. Niña Infiel Salvation. That's the single of our first album. That's the song that carried us through so many years. Like, I feel so many years that song has been just giving us good, you know, good feedback, good times. We play it all the time, everybody likes it. We have Amor Sincero, which is something really crazy. The producer Francisco Murias Ocampo did something amazing. We translated hip-hop, reggae, bolero, rock, and all these things into this song, which I love, Amor Sincero. No Creo en Amor is coming like, you know, one of the most important songs in the album because everybody loves it. We get TV programs because of, okay, we love this song, let's put them on, you know, things like that. So No Creo en Amor. And what is FatKingBulla? FatKingBulla, it's a mix of all of influences and channeled through the rock and roll, straight up. Rock and roll from the 60s, Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, you name it, you know, all those big guys, The Doors, very important. Then it comes Bob Marley and all that. So it's like all this information, and it's reggae, it's criollo music, it's pure rock, you know, translated into Latin, into this Latin Miami sound, you know, that we have here. So FatKingBulla, it's a Latin rock band. I remember Barry White. I remember my mother telling me that I used to say Barry White. And this is in Peru. This is like in Lima. You don't speak English or nothing, but the songs were on the radio. Beatles were on the radio. Bee Gees were on the radio. All these songs that I was at a very young age, like 3 years old, 4 years old, that I got to listen. I loved Santana. Every time I hear that guitar, I was just like, stop, everything stopped, and I listened to the whole song, and I listened to the percussion going, the congas, the bongos, the timbales. Actually, I had no idea, it was just all this information, but it was great. Santana. Miami, I got here, and the very next day my cousin, that was a wallpaper hanger. Esa gente que, you know, they put wallpaper on hotels and big buildings. So he brings me to work, and the very next day I'm making like $150, just like that. I was like blown away. So much money, what do I do? I went shopping, and I did pretty much everything. I kind of, when I came, I remember coming with my guitar, with my lyrics. I didn't know that I was gonna stay, but I really want to show that I was doing music to my cousins. I wanted to go. My aunt told me, you can go to the mall, and you can play your guitar. You put your little case there, and they put money, and you can make it. I did everything. I started selling in stores, furniture. It was very good selling furniture, refinishing furniture, making furniture. When that closed down, I started my remodeling company. I wanted to build things. That got me into a very good gig, working for a very known guy here in Miami, that he owns restaurants and other businesses. And that got me into work for him, and I was like the head of the maintenance department and developing things and projects that he had. Lots of fun. I was not happy though. I was like, I gotta do music. So I was building a career with them, and I was not happy. I said, dude, what am I doing here? This is not what I want to do. But I was making good money, and then he said, I'm gonna stop this. I gotta do the music. And the people started, hey, this guy is crazy. It's too late. You start when you're 20 or something like that. And I just didn't care. I felt like I was 20. I felt like I was going after my dreams. So I did pretty much everything. And I still do. If I have to support the music, whatever it comes through my way, I'll just grab it and push it to the music. So I think I remember the first gig that paid very well was in the same company that I worked before as a property manager. It was at the Van Dyke Cafe, owned by Mark Soika, and we played as FatKingBulla acoustic set, and that paid very well, and I felt really good because I said, if I keep getting these gigs, I'm gonna make it. I started writing very young. That doesn't make me, an expert. I still learning every time. I learn from my partners. I learn from Martino all the time, that he's like a great composer. He writes a whole 24 pages of just beautiful poems, and then he puts music into it. I go different. I just want to start like writing it, and there I have it. So there's different kinds of composition. I think everyone has its different things. I heard some artist over there that every day he goes to the studio at the same time, and he spends like 3-4 hours and does every day. I don't know if I could do that, but I know that I can probably make 3 songs in a day if I'm inspired, not necessarily to get every day into the studio to make songs.
Conocí a Antonio por el director del musical del grupo, Mario, que un día me llama, mira que necesitamos un guitarrista para que toques con esta banda, y empecé a tocar con la banda y me encantó el proyecto y desde ahí trabajamos juntos. Como persona, una tremenda persona, un gran ser humano. Como músico, excelente, creativo, artista que no creado, o sea, que nació como artista, no es un artista creado, sino que eso es una de las características de él, importante. Una experiencia muy chévere. Chévere es como que wow, bien significante, porque empezamos a trabajar juntos, a exponer las mismas ideas, los mismos intereses sobre la banda, sobre hacer un grupo de rock, que cada trabajo que hacemos nos llena, y por eso tenemos las ganas de seguir haciendo y trabajando juntos. Cada tocada, cada viaje que hacemos es para escribir un libro.
Alicia, I tell her every time I can, every time I remember to tell her that she's like the foundation. She's actually the reason why FatKingBulla. She inspired me. My very first songs coming back to the music was for her. She's pretty much the rock behind or under or on the side, or whatever we need to when it comes to, like, if we need something in FatKingBulla, because it's a rock band, it's a Latin rock band. It's Bulla, it's Martino, it's Mario, it's El Gato, whoever is playing. But behind a great band that we are, there's always someone. And I think the first one to name will be Alicia.
How does it feel? It's very interesting, like a roller coaster. You have surprises all the time. You have great things all the time, in the sense that you have people in the house, you meet people every day, and the band, they rehearse at the house. We have the China room. So they all come and we have music all the time. I have learned to sleep through all the music and the noise that you can imagine. And actually, it feels good. I can go to sleep and it's actually very good.
I met her back in 2002 in my apartment in Fort Lauderdale. She came with a friend. I was throwing one of those Peruvian parties, guitar, drinks, candles, and she came with a very good friend, Alex, I remember, and I said, wow, how beautiful, how beautiful. I didn't even want to get near to her because she was too beautiful, but something, I don't know, got her attention. I played the guitar, and she told me that she liked that, and I was very outgoing. I spoke a lot. I speak a lot, actually, all the time. So she liked that, and then one day, when things started to get serious, I asked her, you don't know what you're getting into, I hope you know. And she said, yeah, I know. And I keep telling her, do you remember? And she says yes, and then she doesn't regret it. So that's good.
Bulla as a person, he is great at everything that he loves to do. If he is doing something that he loves, he'll give it 200%. He will make sure that, he gets up on time and does everything. But if he doesn't like to do, he can be a very, very bad procrastinator and leaving everything to the last minute. And so I have to push him all the time and remind him all the time of little things he doesn't like to do. The great thing about him is that he is a go-getter. if he wants something, it doesn't matter what it is, he'll go and talk to anybody he has to talk to. If he needs to go and talk to the president, he will go and knock on his door and talk to him. He's not scared of anybody or anything. And that is really, I really admire that about him. Because and he can go to a party and not know anybody, and in the end, he will know everybody.
The beginning of FatKingBulla was all about juerga. It was all about buying beer and drinking and smoking and getting wasted and writing songs about it. And that really, and I was married at the time, and she supported me and everything, but it was taking a toll. It was taking a toll. She didn't like it. She in the beginning, she was there hanging with us, even playing the bass a little bit and drinking and having fun. But it turned like it was too much. It was getting too much. So she said, you know what? It's either you get your thing together. You really want to do the music, it's okay, but not, you gotta stop all this partying around, and that was the first one that I started taking this thing serious. I said, yeah, she's right.
And as a musician, he is great. He's come a long way. I've always seen that he has great talent since the very beginning. But anybody, even anything that you're pursuing, the more you learn, the more you practice, the better you get. He's very original. He has an amazing voice, and if you hear his voice and him singing anywhere, you will know that it is him, which makes it very, very, very good in the industry. And yeah, that's what he wants to do. So he'll go for it until he gets to where. Actually, I think he'll do it the rest of his life. It's never gonna end. The music side.
Con FatKingBulla hemos tenido un acercamiento bien especial porque nos conocimos siendo muy cercanos de donde vivíamos, y en algún momento nos encontramos y Antonio me presentó su proyecto y me pareció algo fantástico. Me pareció un grupo de 2, 3 personas al principio. Cuando me dieron un CD, me dijeron, mira, autografiado, me dijeron, mira, este es mi proyecto, y escuché su música y dije, wow, esto es muy parecido a bandas que no están conocidas. Y realmente me fui enamorando de la banda, y cuando me di cuenta salí envuelta dentro del proyecto y muy cercana a Antonio, a su música, a su grupo, y me encantó el proyecto.
Peru, we did this media tour in Peru back in February, and we got together with a very good friend of ours, Carlos Cabrera, which it turned into, because the love to the music of FatKingBulla, is that how you say it? That's right? Because to the love that he feels for FatKingBulla, he actually bought two concerts for us to do in Peru. One we did in Lima, in Miraflores, in this nice nightclub, and one we did in a beautiful town called Huánuco, which is a town that I love so much, that I lived there for so many years when I was a kid. And that's we just did this recently in May, and it was great because we got to feel the people, we got to feel the response of the people to our new single, Rompe Corazón, that we have out there. We have in Ecuador and Peru. I know that it's on the radio stations, and people were actually singing that song, and that makes us really happy that that we see the response of the people, and that we get recognized somehow, the work that we do, because that song took us like a whole year to work on, and it's just gratifying, more than the money that you can make by doing these concerts. More gratifying the applause of the people and singing your lyrics. That's amazing.
Wow, Antonio es una persona bien difícil, pero bien difícil en el sentido de que te reta a ser cosas diferentes. Él es una persona que no se puede quedar quieta. Es tan increíble hablar con él porque está hablando de una cosa y te propone otra y de esa cosa sale tremenda idea y eso para mí es magnífico como persona. Es una persona muy humana, muy entregada a hacer lo que se necesite hacer por cualquier persona. Ese es Antonio. Es una persona que actúa sencillamente con el corazón y sin importar nada. Si tiene que hacerlo y no le dan... Si se presentó una oportunidad de hacer un concierto y el productor del concierto o la persona que va a pagar el concierto no tiene la plata y tiene 10.000 personas al frente, él no es capaz de decir no toco. Él está ahí y su banda está siempre para el público en vez de decir quiero dinero. Ese es Antonio, él es con el corazón.
This icon of the radio and TV in Peru, which is Johnny Lopez. And he had this program in Radio Nacional and we had to wake really early to go to his program. And then he's a big promoter of rock and roll music in Peru. So we got to meet him and he was very kind. He interviewed us for like a whole hour. We talked about everything, how we started the band in Miami, how we ended up in Peru, and it was great. It was great meeting someone that you grew up watching on TV and listening on the radio, and now he's listening to your music and saying, "Hey, good job, keep on going."
Yo creo que las bandas ahorita tienen una proyección hacia tener mucha bulla, mucha gente que esté alrededor y mucha imagen. Y esta es una banda que con lo poco que se ha podido hacer ha sido una banda tan auténtica en su identidad que tiene música realmente compuesta por ellos mismos, no es copiada, es música original, son letras que realmente uno se sienta a escucharla y tiene sentido. Ahorita la música es muy básica y eso me encanta de FatKingBulla, que tienen un acercamiento hacia las emociones, hacia lo que realmente ha sido la música y para lo que ha sido creada. So, esa es la gran diferencia de FatKingBulla de las bandas de Miami, porque especialmente en Miami las bandas son muy superficiales. FatKingBulla es una banda que realmente trabaja con el corazón, te llega al corazón y actúa con el corazón. Eso para mí es FatKingBulla.
I think if we keep working hard as we're doing, and I'm sure of this, that we'll get to at least get a Grammy, because we are hardworking rockers. And I say that because we always look to write this song, this hit. We're always looking to improve Latin rock and bring it to the next level. We're always looking to work with the best producers and the best sound. And why? Not because we want that Grammy, because we know, and that's gonna be a satisfaction when I hold that little piece in my hand. And even if we don't get to do it this time, in life. It's just something that we're pursuing. Personally, I say, Martino, you want a Grammy? And say yes, and I say, yeah, me too. Let's just keep working. So I'm sure that if we keep working hard, we're gonna get that Grammy, and that's gonna help us to launch this FatKingBulla, this sound, this music into a world-known name, which that's what we want. That's my goal. If you really feel deep in your heart and you see it, and when you close your eyes that you are this great doctor, great teacher, don't hesitate and just go for it. And if anyone comes around and tells you no, say take it and swallow it, digest it, analyze it, and then just keep on going to your goal, which is becoming whatever you want to do. I think that's how it is. To all those little rockers out there, doesn't matter how old you are, keep on rocking till balse del miedo. Mira el marica se traba, mira el marica se traba, mira el marica se traba de pura hierba importada, eso a mí no me provoca. Provoca darte despacio, pero un boliche despacio. Te doy 3 días y fuiste. Y por secarme me vuelvo loco, de puro nervio de loco, del manicomio el más verde, chapatada, una melón. Del piano, piano, no.